Hi everyone, welcome to A Beginner's Guide to Quizlet. My name is Rory Yakubov. I'm a math teacher at Old Bridge High School in Old Bridge, New Jersey, and I've been using Quizlet for the last 4 years, and I am here to get you started as a new user. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create an account, set up a Quizlet study set, study in so many different ways, and share and find other study sets that other users have made. So follow along with me. It's going to change your life. So first of all, a Quizlet study set is basically a digital flashcard. And on my Quizlet account, I've created tons of flashcard sets for my students, but you can of course create your own account by simply going to Quizlet.com, creating an account, your student account, make an avatar, or pick an icon that's there, put your own picture that's there, choose a name that you know is going to be helpful that you're going to remember so that you can always log in super easy, and you're going to get started. So if I show you what a Quizlet study set looks like, it may look something like this. I'm going to go ahead and click on my Algebra and Vocabulary Review, and basically it is a mix of terms and definitions, or it could be problems and answers. And these are all things that I entered in that I would want to study if I was a student, or something I'm going to send to my students and I'm going to ask them to study. And you can see it's actually really super basic. Now, you can actually go ahead in Quizlet into the search bar and search for a study set. So let's say you are studying biology. You could type in biology into the Quizlet search area, and you're going to find tons of study sets that other people have created that you could actually go ahead and study with. And if you were to click on one of these study sets, like this study set that's here, I'm going to be able to learn about this information in so many different ways, and I'm going to show that in just a little bit. You can actually also scroll down once you click on someone's study set, and you can see all of the terms and definitions that this person entered in, and even if they entered in pictures, which is really, really great. You need a paid version to put pictures in, but using the free student account, you can actually still study with someone's account, someone's study set that has put pictures in. So that's a little easy way to get around that for sure. So definitely make sure that you are searching for study sets, because we all know whatever you are studying, someone else is already studying that same thing. Someone else has already created a Quizlet study set, and you can just easily go for that. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to create your own study set. So over at the top, you're going to see it says create. So I'm going to simply click on the create, and I'm going to click on study set. Once I click on create a study set, I'm going to have some options of things that I can type in. So I'm going to discard this draft of an old study set that I had. It'll actually save previous study sets. If you started working on one, you can always go back in and fix it up. So I'm going to go ahead now and create a new study set. So let's say I'm putting in that I want to study terms of polynomials. So let's say I want to study that. I can put in a description for this. I can actually import some terms and definitions from a Word, an Excel, or a Google Doc. I can put in a diagram if I wanted to, but here's where we really get to it, terms and definitions. So if I said I want to study the definition of a monomial, I would say that a monomial is a polynomial with one term. Now take a look. I didn't even write the word term in, and it already auto-populated because someone else has already created this study card. Even if I was to take out that, you can see it says one term, only one term. So it's actually pulling up things that other people have created, which can be really helpful when you're creating your study set. So a polynomial with one term, I'm going to go over here, type in binomial. And if I wanted to know the definition of a binomial, look what's already popping up. A polynomial with two terms, the sum of two monomials. So you can see that you have a really good, easy way to just simply set these up. The amount of terms you can enter in here is also endless. You could just keep going, add cards, add cards, add cards. You can also see that you have additional features. You can bold, italicize, underline, you can use highlighters, you can even put in voice recordings, and you can turn off any of those suggestions about things that pop up automatically if they're kind of distracting to you. So you have tons of options. After you create the study set, it's simple. You just click create. It saves it for you. Oh, it does say I need to choose a term language to create a set. So I'm going to go here where it says choose language. I'm going to click on English. So that solves that problem if that's something that pops up for you. I'm going to click create, and now my study set is created. Terms of polynomials. So now I only put in 2 cards into this study set, so there's not really too much to study off of, but you can see exactly what I typed in before, monomial and binomial. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like if I was to go back to home. I'm going to show you one of my study sets that I've created and what it would mean to actually study the study set. So right now in Algebra 1, we're working on factoring. And so I put in a bunch of problems of factoring trinomials, the trinomial and the factored form. And so as a student, you studying this study set, whether you created this study set on your own, it's a study set you found that someone else made, maybe it's a study set that your teacher sent you. You have so many options for practicing. You can use flashcards, which are simple, just here's the flashcard. If I click on it, there is my answer. Pretty simple, straightforward like that. You can also click on Learn. Learn is one of my personal favorite options for my students to study using Quizlet study sets. So when I tell them to go into Learn, they are going to see this on their screen. They're going to see at the top left-hand corner how many problems are in this study set. So there's 51 remaining. They're going to see how many they're familiar with, which means they got the problem correct once, and it'll go into known well after they get a problem correct twice. And it really just shows great stats. And walking around a classroom, it's really nice for me to check in on my students. I look at those numbers, I see how far into the study set they are. But as a student, you do have options. You can study and learn in different ways. So if you click on options in the bottom left-hand corner, you get some options here. You can choose how you want to answer, term or definition. So maybe I want to switch things up, and you'll see how that adjusts it. You can use flashcards, written questions, multiple choice, or even fill in the blank. Sometimes I keep out fill in the blank if it's not a vocabulary type study set, because for math, it's kind of difficult to type it in exactly the way the answer should be. Also, if you do learn and you finish the whole study set, you can click start over and go for right from the beginning. There's also audio. So if you wanted to listen to Quizlet actually read the problem to you, you have that option as well, which is pretty cool. So my students would be able to do this. Now you can see this actual next one, it's switched. Now I have the trinomial and it's in factored form, and it's because in options, I switched the term and the definition. So you have complete control over how you want to study, which is amazing. So other options for you to study are write. Write is where you would pull up a card and actually type in the answer. Spelling, also an option where you're going to verbalize, you're going to hear the problem verbally, and then you're going to type in things. But I love test mode. Test mode is one of my favorite options for sure. Test mode is so great. So as a student, you can pull up a Quizlet study set, and just by clicking on test, Quizlet's going to auto-populate a test for you, a practice test, of course. So here's what it did for us. Out of those 51 cards in that study set, it took 5 of those problems and made them written questions. So as a student, my job is just simply type in what my answer might be. So I would go through all of these problems. It then also created 5 matching questions for me automatically, 5 multiple choice questions, and 5 true-false questions. So that is pretty cool. Now, I do have options as a student. I could say, you know what? My teacher said I should study using test mode, but maybe avoid the written questions because it's a little tough to type in. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll see there's actually 2 options. You can actually print the test out at home or in a classroom or in a library, something like that, if you want to physically do the work, or click on options. And in options, you can say, you know what? I really want to do test mode, but I don't want to do the part where I have to write the answers in. So you can simply uncheck it. You can also tell Quizlet how many questions you actually want to be in test mode. So default is 20, but I could say, you know what? I just want to do a really quick test version. I just want a mix of, let's say, 9 problems. Okay, I can answer with term or definition. So right now, I'm not liking the way it's set up where I'm seeing the factored form and I have to put the trinomial. So I'm going to switch that up and do answer with term, and I'm going to create a new test. And so now my test version, you can see the material is there, but it's just been swapped. No longer do I have any written questions. I just have matching, multiple choice, and true false. Now let me show you what happens. So let's say I go ahead and do my matching, and I'm just going to really randomly answer this right now. Maybe I'll make sure I get 1 or 2 correct. And I'll make sure I get some wrong for you so you can see what it looks like. So let's say I do my test and I go ahead and I submit it and I click check answers. So Quizlet's going to tell me I got an 89%, which is super impressive because I just clicked through that really quickly. It's going to tell me right from the beginning, if I scroll up, exactly which ones I got correct, what the correct answer should have been. I know that's pretty fair. Light on the screen. It's going to show me if I got a question wrong and give me my full result. Then it also says create a new test. So let's say I studied and I said, you know what, I just want to do a brand new test, but I still want that formatting to be the same. Once you click create a new test, you're going to see you get brand new questions that pop up in the same formatting. I can go ahead and answer this quiz, my test, check my answers again, and just keep studying that way. So tests is definitely one of my favorite ways to study for sure. You also have a matching game. So matching is pretty cool because if you go ahead and click on match, it says make everything disappear. Drag corresponding items onto each other to make them disappear. I'm going to click start game. Now match is a timed game. So it would be where I'd have to look at my problems, factor out a trinomial, and when I overlap the term and definition, it disappears. And that tells me that it's correct. So I would go ahead and I'm going to go through all of these. Now I am timed, so the pressure is on, but if I know my problems really well, I should do great. After I match them all up, I get this notification. I happen to be first place because I'm the first student to do the matching on this study set. If other classmates of yours also do match on the study set, you actually get into a little competition and you see how each other did, which is a lot of fun. And you can keep playing and you can try to get a better score, and it's just a really great way to study. There's also two other ways you can study. One is gravity. Gravity is another game version where you have a rock falling and you have to be able to answer the question quickly. And then the last option that you see here is live. Now live only shows up on the teacher's end. Quizlet Live is an amazing game for you to actually play in your classroom, whether it's in person, hybrid, or remote, and you actually just play a live version game using this Quizlet study set, which is a lot of fun. Now, let's say you've been creating some study sets and you really want to organize them because you just start creating all these study sets and it looks like one big laundry list and it's kind of overwhelming, especially as a student. We want to be as organized as possible. Well, when you're on your Quizlet homepage on the left-hand side, you'll see there's an option that says folders. And if you click into folders or see underneath that item there, it does say create a folder. So let's say you are making Quizlet study sets for biology, for history, for algebra, geometry, whatever it might be. You might want to say, you know what, I want to gather them so I don't have this huge list of study sets and I have to sort through them. So if I said I wanted to create a history study set list, I might say history study sets. I might say that this is for my 10th grade class because maybe you're going to continue making study sets next year into 11th grade or whatever grade it might be. And you don't want to get rid of them. You just want to kind of save them and have them all organized. So you could do that and go ahead and click create folder. Now that folder will be created for you and it says this folder has no sets yet. So if I click on add a set, I can go ahead and add in one of the sets that I already made. Now, I am a math teacher, so all I'm going to have are my math sets. But imagine you did just say, okay, well, I made 3 sets for history, so let me go ahead. And just by clicking the plus sign, it turns to a minus there on the screen. But I'm going to exit out of that. You'll see that those 3 sets now got put into my history study sets. So you go through the process of creating a study set, you learn from them, and then organizing them into folders makes it really easy for you. If you are a teacher watching this, you can actually create a class under the teacher account, and it's the same idea. Creating a class is super easy. Creating a class name, let's say you want to call it period 5, putting in a description that this is for algebra 1. Students would be able to add study sets if you wanted them or add new members. I usually, as a teacher, uncheck that. You can put your school in, and then you'd be able to create the class. And what's really nice is just like a folder, you can add study sets to that class, and students that join your class are easily able to see the exact study sets they need, and they don't get overwhelmed by a huge list of study sets on your page. Let's say you are a student and you created an amazing study set and you want to share it with a friend. Sharing a study set is super easy. All you do is click on the study set that you want to share. Underneath, you're going to see you have some options here. So this is about adding to a class set or folder, so that plus sign also helps. Editing, now sharing. So the third option is to share. You can send it in an email. You can copy the link and drop it in. You can share it on Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams, or even a Remind if that's how you are set up. But it is very easy to share a set for sure with anyone that needs it. So of course, you go through all of this work creating a Quizlet page, you're using your Quizlet study sets, you're sharing them, but you also want to use them, away from your desktop or laptop. You can certainly download a free app on an Apple product or an Android. They have the apps for you. It is so easy. You just simply log in with the account that you made and you can study with ease, and it's super convenient studying at the palm of your hands for sure. You can see I have the Quizlet app on my phone. You can see I have my study sets here, and it's with a click. I am just clicking away and studying, and my students do the exact same thing. So if you are completely new to Quizlet, hopefully this helped you navigate everything you need to know to get started. Definitely go ahead, make that account, download the app on your phone, download it on any device that you possibly have so that it all interacts with each other. I have it on my desktop, my laptop, my phone, my iPad, so that no matter where I go, I'm ready to study and create study sets wherever I am. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.